Now, a new update has come out, and it is appearing to be the case that the neighbors in the area claimed that Celeste was actually living with David in that property. Okay, this is the Sun article about the situation. And it says here, teen whose decomposing body was found in the back of David's Tesla lived with the singer in the weeks before her death. The 15-year-old girl found dead in the trunk of singer David's car was living with him at his rented Hollywood Hills home, a neighbor has claimed. Celeste Rivas went missing from her mother's house more than a year ago and is believed to have been with the singer, real name David Anthony Burke, until her decomposing body was found in his Tesla trunk earlier this month. So more pictures from outside the property there, and David's hair in the corner for some reason. It says the singer and the teen are said to have been living at this $20,000 a month rental property. Rivas' remains were found on September the 8th in the black Tesla registered to David after it was taken to a Hollywood tow yard. A homicide investigation is launched. He is said to be cooperating with the authorities and has not commented on the death. Little is known about her relationship with David, but her brother Matthew told the media they were aware the pair was dating before she went missing, and a source told the US Sun she had on occasion returned to the family home only to disappear again. The US Sun learned that David was living at a Hollywood Hills mansion rented by his manager at Interscope Records, John Marshall, who also has not commented on the death. Officers were photographed leaving the $20,000 a month home carrying evidence bags following the discovery, and an immediate neighbor has now claimed in a chat with the US Sun that he saw the singer and Celeste at the time together and believed they lived together at the home. The resident, who wishes not to be named, said he returned to Los Angeles from a trip this week and was stunned to hear of the news. I just got here like yesterday, he said on Wednesday. They were pretty quiet. I never saw the police there and I didn't hear them partying or anything. Nothing wild. I was shocked to find out what happened. There's more close-up pictures, and security cameras have even been seen placed outside the home, and no doubt detectives have been looking into what's on those cameras. Okay. Broken parts of a Ring doorbell are seen on the ground after the police raid. That's going to be damning evidence. It says, I didn't know he was a singer. This is the neighbor, but I knew he had a Tesla. It was always parked outside, and he was with the girl regularly all the time, he said, recognizing Rivas from photographs. I last saw them a couple of months ago. I'm not sure, but I thought they were just kids, like a couple, both aged 18 or 19. I had no idea. It's crazy. I'd be in my car and we'd acknowledge each other and say hi, but that was about it when they were heading to the store or whatever. I did ask him about his Tesla as his car was hit and he never fixed it. He didn't really say what happened. Wonder what that dent in the car is all about. The neighbor claimed that although the singer was polite, he preferred not to make small talk with those living nearby. No doubt, if you got a minor living in your crib. Anytime I tried to talk to them, they weren't very engaging, the resident added. They kept
they're not going to engage. He's sitting there living with a kid.
To themselves. Their friends told me they found a little girl in the car, but I didn't realize that it was her at first. I haven't spoken to the police, but my friend who owns the home has. The owner of David's $3.6 million rental, Malden Trifonovich, confirmed that his manager signed the lease and has since asked to terminate it, and they've started moving out their belongings. So we've already covered him.
How old is he? I believe he's 20.
Moving, but this is really interesting new information. The idea that the neighbors are speaking out. They said that Celeste did live there. They'd seen her there on numerous occasions. And, they were saying, yep, seemingly she was actually living in that property with him. Now, for the record, I just want to correct something that's been going around. This is really interesting. Now, I might have been duped by this as well, because there's a TikTok going around that basically says Celeste wasn't dismembered. There's been no actual confirmed official reporting that that suggests that the dismemberment was true. It's possible that isn't true. It's possible.
Yeah, but here's what I heard from Law and Crime. I heard that not only was she dismembered, but not all of her was found in the Tesla. Then the Tesla was a torso and arms, and I believe legs missing. But again, I don't hold the internet as reliable. We got to discern what we feel from the information we get, because who knows what's bullshit and what's not.
That maybe it's something that people have just assumed based on some of those music videos.
But I can't look at her picture, man. Like, it's a child. Like, I'm looking at a child. Like, every time I look at her picture, it's like I don't want to put the picture and the story together like that. Like, in the sense that, this happened, all these horrible things happened to that child.
I'm not going to lie, I'd seen it so many places, I thought that she had been dismembered, but apparently, according to official sources, that wasn't the case.
All right, guys, so according to the county of
I also heard wrapped in plastic, and then I also heard in a tote, in a plastic tote. That's the problem. Everybody starts running them up, but somebody said, oh, they was in a plastic bin. And then the other person says she was in plastic. And then they say she was wrapped in plastic. And then it just goes on from there. It's telephone game. Here's the thing, Adrian, I don't think she got to turn 15, so she wasn't 15. She didn't even get to turn 15.
All right, guys, so according to the County of Los Angeles Medical Examiner's Office, the body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been released to her family. The GoFundMe page that was set up to collect donations for Celeste's funeral expenses has been disabled, and as you can see, a service has been set for October 5th, 2025. Her COD is still being listed as deferred, meaning it is still pending investigation. This probably has to do with the toxicology. That sometimes takes weeks, could even take months. And guys, I want to address another comment that I keep seeing on my page. Every time I look at my notifications, there's a new one pertaining to this. People seem to believe that Celeste's body was dismembered. Law enforcement never ever said that. The medical examiner's office never ever said that. And I thought this too until I recently went back and looked at where this actually stemmed from, and it turns out that this news article is not known to be credible, nor did they claim to have any source close to law enforcement or to the medical examiner's office that told them that. But a ton of other news outlets saw this, and then they started piggybacking off of it as facts, but it was never actually confirmed. Law enforcement initially said the decedent was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle on September 8, 2025. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. We are unable to determine her age, race, or ethnicity.
But see, that's the thing. Shannon said they don't throw out that dismember word without proof. Here's the thing. Who's they? Because the media throw out everything, and the internet throw out everything without proof. So if he's saying the police never even mentioned it, I'd have to go back and listen.
The decedent was wearing a tube top and black leggings size small. She has wavy black hair and was wearing jewelry, including a yellow metal stud earring and a yellow metal chain bracelet. Now, after she was brought to the medical examiner's office, we had a little bit more of a detailed description of her. This is when they shared her height and when they shared her tattoo description on one of her fingers. One, if just a head and torso were found, like a lot of you are saying, they would not have a description of what was on her finger. And two, if her body was dismembered, she would not be clothed in a black tube top, she would not have jewelry on, she would not have had size small black leggings, and the medical examiner's office would not have been able to release her exact height, especially not as quickly as they did. Now, as for why it was not released that she had a David tattoo allegedly on one of her fingers, I think that was strategic. Law enforcement knew that her body was found in David's Tesla. They probably wanted to give a very faint description of who this was to see how he would react, to see if he would say, yeah, that's my girlfriend, yeah, that's my ex, yeah, that's my friend. Did he hear this vague description of the victim and make the connection?
Well, it's a simple way to know that that's whoever it is. Where's the girl that's always around? Who's this in your car? How about you come off the road and we talk about this?
Between him and the victim for law enforcement, or did he hear this vague description and distance himself and try to act like he had no idea who this was and hope that maybe they didn't see the tattoo? Only time will tell you.
That's what they said on Law and Crime too. Oh, they might be waiting about the pregnancy's DNA and all of this and that, and don't rush this and you gotta wait and whatever. But then I also hear that pregnancy shit is a rumor too. The internet just making conspiracies upon conspiracies. What's the real story? Who the fuck knows? You know who knows? Whoever did that to her. It would also make sense that they dropped clues to see his reaction. Did he lawyer up right away, or did he ask who was it, or why she was in his Tesla? That's the questions. A bunch of questions. So much information. We've done hours and hours and hours on this, and we got nothing. We got an unalived little girl that was being abused her whole life. Why? Because at 10 years old, you ain't got no business in no discourse. Something's wrong.
For the record, okay, I have seen this in pretty official looking news sources. This is KTLA 5, and they said the remains, according to a report from the LA Times, which is another pretty reliable news source, was described as a head and torso found in a bag inside the Tesla's trunk. So that information has circulated on official sources, but according to that person, it isn't true. Now,
shout out Adrian. I'm sure his manager been keeping him in check because there hasn't been a single word from him publicly. But he been playing Fortnite. I shit here in the U.S. If you don't make it a point to know your neighbors, anything can happen around you. Not like in Mexico. Everyone knows everyone and helps each other. It's part of the problem. It be them bugaboo ass people, man. They turn people off from wanting to talk to them.
But yeah, that's the latest update. Neighbors are saying that Celeste was living with David allegedly, and this dismemberment angle has apparently been, well, not necessarily disproved, but it's not been confirmed by the police. And the big Vanity Fair article is going to break this down into.
And all it took was some kid saying that it wasn't true.
People are saying that they've now found David's Roblox account. Okay, it's apparently been terminated. This says, does this mean he deleted his account, or does it mean he's just lurking on here if Roblox didn't delete it? I checked yesterday and it was still there, not deleted. Sorry if somebody already posted him. He was saying with all the backlash and ongoing...
Grown men on fucking Roblox. All right, Roblox for little kids, you...
I did a full update on this Itami character that David had created that a lot of people think represents the relationship with Celeste. Was born on February the 2023 and died. The character died on August 2025, and a lot of people think that lines up with the relationship and possibly Celeste's death.
Remember, he kept looking at the timeline of events, and people kept saying the unaliving of Itami, or it for me, IT for MI. And he said, I got to figure out what that is. So evidently that's a code name made for their relationship. Fucking weirdo, bro. They need to crush dude.
David was caught on stage actually being asked questions about this Itami character and him kind of explaining some backstory. And some people feel like this actually is him kind of giving some kind of cryptic clues about this Itami character, considering what it represents. That might be an indication. And the caption says, I got VIP at the Dallas show. I'm not sure if this means anything, but hopefully y'all can make something out of it so it's not another dead end. He's talking about his alter ego. It sounds like he's got BPD. I don't know if this is supposed to lead into something, lead into the finding of Celeste, or who knows. Let me know what you think.
What is next, more specifically, for your character Itami? Is it really the end? He's gone.
Saying, is it really the end of Itami? And he's saying he's gone, he's dead, it's over.
Yeah, so I'm fleshing out the lore right now, but after the Wither rolled out, you saw the last music video with one more.
Says, I'm fleshing out the lore right now after the Withered rollout. Okay, he kind of...
you saw the last music video with one more dance where like he buried me.
So he said the last music video was One More Dance, where Itami buried him and killed him, right?
So I'm kind of like, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is a resurrection that happens.
So he says, I don't want to spoil anything. There's a resurrection that happens, whether him, Itami, the character, the metaphor that this character stands for, is going to be resurrected and is going to come back, apparently, and that's what he was planning to do.
Motherfucker think he writing a graphic novel and shit in real life.
Bring this character back somehow.
Okay. And there is some redemption that happens. I also beat him. So we're trying to...
He says as redemption happens, I also beat him. So he's saying he beats his evil alter ego somehow.
So we're trying to like figure out how we're going to film all that and kind of like show you guys how that happens. Okay. The pipeline of all the things, but Itami does go away and a new character comes in. Similar to like the Tyler the Creator rollouts where there's a different character for every album. So I'm like in the middle of the planning phases for that. It might be like a manga that comes with it and like a comic book too. So that's dope.
Okay, now this is unrelated, but this is a video that's been circulating recently. It's David faceplanting on stage. Some people are happy to see him get hurt, and essentially this is him trying to do a backflip and failing miserably. This arguably is a metaphor for what he's about to be facing at the end of the week, essentially. Yeah, just faceplants and just lays on the ground there, okay? So, look, he was clearly a very energized performer. People are saying he deserved that. He's about to be facing at the end of the week, potentially. Yeah, just faceplants and then just lays on the ground there, okay?
He busts his ass, man. Sometimes you gotta watch a motherfucker bust his ass. Y'all want to see it one more time? I'll watch it one more time.
Flip and failing miserably. This arguably is a metaphor for what he's about to be facing at the end of the week, potentially. Yeah, just face plants and then just lays on the ground there, okay? So,
like it. When I was a kid playing my Nintendo, playing our PlayStations or whatever, it wasn't until I was an adult that they came with this internet shit. Our kids got to deal with strangers, man. Stranger danger is no longer down the block and around the corner. Stranger danger is in your house coming through that line. Coming through that internet line. Scrutinize those phones. Scrutinize those tablets. Get in their shit. Make them uncomfortable. Question them. Hey, you ain't talking to nobody on that game, huh? Show them. This is not the old days, man, where we had to take an adult's word for it. No. I'm sure there's a story somewhere on the internet where somebody their age fucked up on the internet. Now you can literally show them that story and say, this is what happens to little kids that do this shit. And be on their ass about it. I do my own child traumatizing, showing him what can happen in all kind of situations. Got to. We didn't have that coming up. We didn't have the option to look into the future or look into the present or the past of somebody else and see how what you're telling me not to do affected them. What? Y'all got visual aids to do that shit with now. Judging just off his lyrics, it seems she was having her own mental health issues. I'm sure she was, but she was also a child. And taking him into an emotional roller coaster, he's a bitch. He's a whiny, crying, singing, songy bitch that just cry all day. He wasn't in a toxic relationship. He was in a relationship with an abused child. That abused child is going to have issues, problems, behavioral issues, all of the above. And what he do, he go in the studio and cry about it like a bitch. You never know what kind of world you wake up to. Power goes out, systems fail, or you end up somewhere you shouldn't have been. That's where survival fraud comes in. the OGs of emergency prep. From solar-powered gear to bug-out bags that'll keep you breathing while everyone else panics. They got the real tools for the real situations. I'm not talking fantasy gear, I'm talking survival gear. Hit the Survival Frog link in the description and get geared up. Be ready, stay sharp, stay dangerous.
Everyone's saying, why the hell hasn't this guy been arrested yet? Now, people have been geolocating that image of David where he was allegedly giving people money in a parking lot. People have said it's Lake Elsinore, and they've actually worked out exactly where this is in Lake Elsinore. Somebody has done the due diligence and basically worked out exactly where that location the money was given away took place. They're comparing the pylons and the electrical poles in the area, and they've seemingly worked out the exact spot where that money was given over, and it was in Celeste's hometown of Lake Elsinore, which is, you know, not something we didn't know for sure, but now it's pretty undeniable with the geolocation comparison. It says, I originally thought the photo of David handing kids money didn't hold much weight, but I since found out it's been circulating since 2024, and I got suspicious. I found the exact location the photo was taken on Google Earth. It just so happens to be in Lake Elsinore. We have already confirmed this is Celeste's neighborhood. Pay attention to the white parking barriers, 2 stop signs, 2 telephone poles, and the exact 2-tone fence.
Celeste Rivas is not exclusive. There's many other cases of this happening right now. Right now, there's a little girl that ain't supposed to be on the internet somewhere talking to some motherfucking jerk-off. Right now.
David's muscle-bound goons and what looked like his bodyguards were seen helping him move stuff out of the Hollywood Hills house. This guy looks terrifying. I'm not sure I want to pull up to that property if you've got goons that are looking this jacked. Could this be considered tampering of evidence or obstruction of justice? What if they're moving evidence? People saying, I don't think so, since the police already raided the home before that. Now, people are still speculating as to why there's no charges yet, and a lot of people are saying it's because the charges brought will be an insane amount of numbers. People saying, why aren't there any charges yet? Well, the answer could be because the number of charges brought may ultimately be insane. I think the subs following this have done a good job of explaining why guilty equals quick charges, and the more obviously guilty you are, the quicker the charges. That's not necessarily true, though. Tons of evidentiary and procedural...
Not at all. They want to get you on, hopefully want to get you on as many charges as they possibly can.
Leaving aside the entirely alleged premeditated murder while sentenced, David could still be charged with a myriad of counts related to the fact that he was clearly SUly grooming and harboring a child that ran away.
Celeste's final movements captured on camera.
New footage that's been released by TMZ, which seemingly shows the final moments that Celeste was actually seen on camera. She was apparently walking away from her area in Lake Elsinore, and it is very ominous. Like, you see this girl, just this little girl walking down the street. You know, it's maybe nothing untoward, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, this is a solo little girl walking down the street. She shouldn't be doing that on her own, and it is a little bit chilling. So this is her walking down the street in Lake Elsinore. They point her out. That's her walking all by her own. She's kind of half jogging, half running away from the scene.
So I did a song called Lupe for a film called Lupe about a young lady that comes up missing. An underage girl who comes up missing. And I wrote the song through the eyes of the main character of the film. And there's a line where he says, the corner warned her. The street lights begged her to stay. The curb watched the crosswalk cry as she walked away. And this is the first time I've actually seen those words that I wrote. And it feels that way. This right here makes me feel that. The corner warned her, the street lights begged her to stay, the curb watched the crosswalk cry as she walked away. That's it right there.
Down the street in Lake Elsinore, they point her out. That's her walking all by her own.
She's
kind of half jogging, half running away from the scene. Who knows if this is a situation where she's kind of snuck out of her family home. Maybe she knew that her parents would be looking for her, but she is getting away from where she's from, and we don't know what happened exactly after. Okay, from this footage, we're seeing her walking all the way down the street. She's walking onto a busy main road. She's kind of jogging to get further away quicker. All right, a lot of people running in the area for some reason, but she gets away from those people. Maybe she was just running past those people to make sure they didn't see her identity. She's walking a bit slower on the street now, and she crossed paths with another person. But this is a busy road. It's a busy street. No doubt no number of people saw her walking by and probably didn't think it was anything untoward. But this is actually the last known confirmed footage that we have of her, at least in Lake Elsinore, in her area. And, you know, maybe the outfit is going to be useful to the detectives trying to work out where she went. They might be able to cross-reference this to other surveillance cameras from the area. But this is a small town. So chances are the fact that this is a small town, you can see her just running a little bit faster there at the top of the frame.
That video breaks my heart.
And they've actually got a little interview here with somebody that apparently watched her grow up.
Tell me how this has really affected your emotions here.
It's in fact I have connection with all kids. Like, I'm here for 11 years. I see this kids growing up in front of my eyes. And I have kids same age. It's hurt for you see all this generation like lost by social media and all this. It's sad. It's burned my heart for her family, for her as a young girl. It's hard. She's beautiful, quiet, shy girl. It's not like from the wild girls. And I shocked when I find out first time when she ran away or missing. It's hard.
And you've been interfacing with her family in the years that she's been gone, right?
Yep. For when she missing first time, her sister come in here, asked me, and we start looking at the camera to find out where she go and if we can find anything to get her back. It's hard. It's hard for all the neighborhoods.
And these images that we've looked at, they're from over a year ago. This is the first time she ran away.
The second time.
Oh, the second time.
Second time after they bring her back. Second time in March 19, I think.
That's it. That's the end that we know of. Those are the last steps she took in Elsinore.
Her sister coming here to. I said for a couple of days, check the camera till we find out exactly when she ran away.
You said this has really been the talk of Lake Elsinore, that everyone's heart is broken.
Yep. even like last Friday, I cannot take it no more. I go grab my daughter from the school for like emotional. It's like burn me inside, and I have my daughter older than her 1 year. Like it's hard. It's very hard.
Do you have any thoughts about what may have happened?
No, but for my opinion is two things. First, this generation lost by social media. Second, the law in California, they take the right from us as a parents to raise our kids. The right from us and the right from the teachers too. For the teacher is second parents for the kids. And nothing we can do as a parents or as a teacher. For that, the kids learning from the street, from the social media, and they get lost.
And you were saying your camera shows her walking down the street?
Yes. Walking down the street this way and go past the fence where you have the other street. I think Mount Vernon, the street name.
So that was the gentleman that owns the liquor store, and he kind of pointed everything out exactly as it happened, pointing down exactly where we saw that footage first. So it says, L.A. Nadaf, owner of Delago Spirits in Lake Elsinore, told us Celeste's sister came to the liquor store on March the 19th and asked to review the surveillance footage to see if Celeste had run away. The sister said that the person in the video was indeed Celeste. Nadaf says that he gave the footage to Rivas' family in the hopes it would help them find her, and this was the second time Celeste ran away from home. We know that she ran away in January 2024.
There seems some care there from the family, wanting to know where she's at, but there's a lot of things that y'all knew. I want to understand what steps were taken. Where was the fail in the fucking chain? You know,
was returned home after police found her in Hollywood. Celeste wasn't a wild girl by any means. Eli says, and he never heard about any trouble at home, though law enforcement sources told us Rivas kept running away because of a troubled home. Ali says that he often saw Celeste come into his store to buy soda, chips, and gum. Police are still investigating Celeste's disappearance and her connection to David, the singer who owned the car in which Celeste's body was found. And we obtained a photo showing David less than a mile from Rivas' home in Lake Elsinore.
I was literally watching words that I wrote on the screen in the same context that I wrote them years later. Yeah, that shit hit me right in the head as soon as I saw her walking.
We've heard a lot of analysis, a lot of speculation, a lot of hate for Celeste's family. People are pointing the finger and trying to put blame on her family, saying they should have looked out for her more. Now, I don't really condone that point of view, but I feel like there's been a lot of unanswered questions as far as David's family. What are David's family doing? What did they know about what was going on? What was their opinion on his career? As we discussed in the last video, it has been alleged that David's manager actually knew about what was going on with Celeste, and Celeste's family had actually contacted the manager directly in 2024 to basically say to him, we know what's going on. We know our daughter is with David. Here's the missing poster. She is a missing minor. We want her back. And then she mysteriously resurfaced in Lake Elsinore 24 hours after that. So
there you go.
Clear.
She came back from a threat from the family. So seems like the family's letting it be known. Listen, we know what's popping. Maybe they let her slip through their fingers, and now they, doing something about it. Manager, definitely implicated. Whoever's working with him knew. Period.
A lot of things going on behind the scenes. A lot of people knew what was going on. A lot of people clearly knew more than they're letting on. But now there's been a crazy Daily Mail article where it's basically saying that everybody's trying to track everybody's family. They're tracking David's family. They're trying to see what's going on. And David's mother has actually surfaced armed with a gun. Apparently,
well, I mean, she probably feels like she needs it. I ain't blaming his mama. She probably feels like she needs it. You know how much fucking internet hate she's probably gotten?
She's gone to a gun store. I don't know if she's in fear of her life. I don't know if she's just a regular gun enthusiast. I don't know what's going on with this, but I feel like this is a very interesting update, and it really says a lot about how the family's mindset is at the moment. So this is a Mail exclusive. David's mother goes to a gun store as World asks why there's still been no arrest over girl's body dumped in his Tesla. Okay. So the article goes on to say the mother of an embattled singer, David, has been spotted shopping at a Texas pawn and gun store. Her first public sighting since the dismembered remains of a missing teenage girl.
It's a pawn shop, man. She could be pawning some shit. She could be getting some shit back. What do you got to do with a hammer? You don't know that for sure. Yeah, they sell hammers, and maybe she feel like she need a hammer.
were found abandoned in her son's Tesla. Colleen Roberts Burke, age 49, was seen in images exclusively obtained by the Daily Mail, leaving Tomball Pawn and Jewelry near Houston on Thursday afternoon, clutching an instruction manual for an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, wearing black tracksuit bottoms and a grey t-shirt with the words "Send Nudes" emblazoned across her chest. What the hell? The mother of three was photographed glaring at her phone.
His mom was wearing a "Send Nudes" shirt? That's funny.
As she walked away from the store, she seemed to be chaperoned by a large bearded man in a white t-shirt. In another shot taken moments later, Burke was seen outside the shop pacing with a cell phone pressed to her ear as she leaned against a stone pillar, her expression tense with a hand placed on her hip. It's not clear what, if anything, she purchased inside the store, and she's not responded to the Daily Mail's request for comments. The exclusive images mark the first sighting of David's mother since her son became the focus of a murder probe in Los Angeles following the September 8th discovery of missing teen Celeste Rivas' remains. So that's her, apparently with a very big, serious-looking security guard right there, and literally clutching an instruction manual.
Security guard or boyfriend or nephew or security guard. You ain't gonna fight. You better be strapped.
Very big, serious-looking security guard right there, and literally clutching an instruction manual for an AR-15. That's quite ominous. That's quite spooky, really. They've zoomed in, and it really is what they say it is, man. It's an instruction manual for a rifle, for a Deltone AR-15.
Okay.
And she really is wearing a shirt that says
All
"Send
right,
Nudes."
so she got herself a rifle. Okay. She got herself an AR, and she got herself a "Send Nudes" shirt on. She probably feel like she's in danger.
And it's got some noodles there. That is kind of funny. That's the sort of shirt that we would expect someone like David to wear. So she was seen outside the shop moments later with a cell phone pressed against her ear.
Oh, this story's fucked up and a cautionary tale to all parents to be super vigilant and vigilante about what your kids are doing and monitoring all social media platforms. A lot of parents let the tablet raise the kid. Parent need the break, let the tablet go. Next thing you know, they in a Discord somewhere with some fucking dork like David. His brother's definitely implicated because his brother, there's videos walking her backstage, if in fact that is her.
Apparently, a former Department of Justice prosecutor actually told the Daily Mail the case against David is staggering, and he is shocked an arrest hasn't already been made. Whenever they find a body in your car, that's not good.
There's too many different opinions from these officials and experts and professionals and prosecutors and this and that. I hear one say, "Hey, don't rush it. It takes time." I hear the other one say, "I can't believe an arrest hasn't been made already." So I take it all with a pound of salt.
Bullshit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.